And also this, Donald Trump, and you've been hearing, of course, and his wife Melania have tested positive for coronavirus. The US president confirmed on Twitter that he and the First Lady had contracted COVID-19, saying, "We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together." Trump is said to have contracted the disease from Hope Hicks, one of his closest aides, after having travelled with her on Air Force One when they had the first presidential debate, of course, in Ohio on Tuesday. The president is now expected to self-isolate for 2 weeks while facing treatment for the disease. His diagnosis comes just 1 month before the US elections, which take place on the 3rd of November. Here's a weird coincidence. It was 4 years ago today when Donald Trump said this about Hillary Clinton when she contracted pneumonia.
She has been a disaster. But here's a woman. She's supposed to fight all of these different things, and she can't make it 15 feet to her car. Give me a break.
There it is. Donald Trump can't make it 15 feet to his car now. You couldn't make that up, could you? Let's speak to Antjuan Seawright, who's Democrat strategist based in South Carolina. Antjuan, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
Very well,
I'm so
sir.
Glad to be with you. It's morning here in the United States of America, so I'll say good morning.
Yeah, indeed. Good morning. I understand you've just jumped off a plane as well. So
I did. I was in Washington D.C. and I just got back to South Carolina. So
glad
call of the day.
Glad you arrived safe and well, sir. So listen. I mean, what did you, from a political perspective? I guess the sort of standard practice, and I can hear Joe Biden already saying this. You know, we wish the president well. Can a Democrat even manage those words?
Well, yes, you can, because believe it or not, we do. Those of us who live by the Christian faith, we do pray for our brothers and sisters who are in need. And so we do wish the president well, and we hope a speedy recovery for him, the First Lady, and for all those who may have been in contact with them and who may test positive for the virus.
Yeah.
But I'll also say this is a friendly reminder that in South Carolina in February, the president said this was the new Democratic hoax. In September, he said this virus virtually impacts no one. I can give you so many examples. Just Tuesday night, he essentially made a joke about the vice president wearing a mask and taking this virus seriously. So at the end of the day, what this says to me is that God that I serve has a big sense of humor, and the reminder that this virus does not discriminate. We all should take it serious. And truth of the matter is, while some want to run away from the reality that we still are living through the worst health pandemic since 1918 in the United States, we're not. And it has caused some of the worst economic times in this country since 1932, and partly responsible for some of the social unrest we are experiencing here in this country. And so the focus in this country now, as it relates to our politics, will go back to where it should be, and that's on COVID-19 and healthcare, because that is what we're facing.
I'm just thinking, Antjuan, we're talking about people who've been up close and personal with the president. I mean, that includes Joe Biden in recent days.
Well, yes. I mean, the vice president will be tested, as well as staff and others who have been around him. In fact, I would encourage anyone who was in any proximity with Hope Hicks, President Trump, the First Lady, or anyone to be tested, because we just do not know. The president did not have any symptoms. And so if you refuse to get tested or don't take testing seriously, you could literally have the virus and not know it. So testing is so important. That's why Democrats here's the need to have a testing plan, a robust plan, so we can have this.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I'm looking at this. You guys are 1 month away, almost to the day, from an election. I mean, what happens if the president is still ill? What's the story here? Because it's not inconceivable that a guy of his age and size, and I say this politely, may well find himself having to rest up for longer than the usual 2 weeks. What happens to your election?
We're in uncharted territory, as we all know, because we've never been through this before, and so we just do not know. What we do know is there are measures in place in case something does happen to the president, i.e. the vice president assumes that role. But if the president does not have any serious symptoms, then we know that he can operate from a virtual standpoint. If he does, then I'm not sure what happens. I don't think anyone knows the answer to that.
Yeah, I understand that an American presidential election has never had to be postponed before, so that would,
And it will not, because the Constitution requires it to happen.
yeah, and
So
the
the
president doesn't
election will
have
go
control
on.
of that, of course.
Yeah, the election will go on. It's just a matter of whether the president will be functional during
Yeah.
the election.
Indeed. Antwan, thank you. It's been fabulous to talk with you, sir. Thank you for sparing us the time. I know you just literally just hopped off a plane, Democratic strategist based in South Carolina, Antjuan Seawright. Let's get a Republican perspective on this. Dalia al-Aqidi is a former Republican congressional candidate. Dalia, welcome to you. Afternoon or morning?
Good morning. Good afternoon to you. Good morning to me.
Nice indeed. Nice to have you with us. I mean, it's not good news when anybody gets coronavirus, of course, and we hope people recover from it. But I mean, timing is everything, and this could not have been a worse time.
Exactly. It was a shock to everybody, to the Republicans, to Democrats. We only have 32 days, and we don't know what's going to happen. It's the time of uncertainty from now until November 3rd. We just hope that the president and the first lady recover soon, and the president will continue his campaign.
Sure.
Hopefully.
What does this mean, do you think, for the president? I know it's hard to tell, and nobody wants to make either political capital or score cheap points out of an illness, but this is bound to feature somewhere in the minds of American voters come November the 3rd. Will they look at Mr. Trump and think, hey, this guy's strong, look, he got through it, fantastic, we're going to vote for him now we weren't sure before? Or would this play into a narrative that the president himself has advanced on more than one occasion, that, if you're ill, that sort of equals a kind of weakness?
I mean, definitely it's going to affect President Trump negatively. But knowing Trump and his personality, he would use it if he gets if he recovers from it. We just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the effect. So far, what we've heard from the doctors saying that he's asymptomatic, but we still don't know. I think this what happened today, early this morning, would benefit definitely the Democrats, and they would lose it. They would use it. That's for sure. And the thing is, President Trump, I mean, he's a human being after all, and if anybody could get COVID-19, he gets COVID-19. I mean, he never said that it's not there. He never said. He's been working with his administration and with his team on finding a solution, on finding ways to ease the pain and to ease the pandemic on the American people.
Do you? Are you? I mean, you're a former Republican candidate. Are you?
I'm a former candidate, but I'm still Republican.
I was about to say, are you still a Republican? Is Trump still your man?
Definitely. I am a Republican, and I will always be a Republican. And the thing is, the problem of what's happening in the country is that the Democratic Party is losing to its progressive trend, and the far left has hijacked that party. I mean, I feel bad for the Democrats, and I feel bad for the future of the Democratic Party if they don't recover. The DNC should wake up and should redo an evaluation for what's happening and what we've
come on, Dalia. You don't really feel bad for the Democrats, do you?
Seriously, I do. No, seriously, I do, because we miss the decency. We've never considered the Democrats are our enemies. I have so many Democratic friends, and we're not enemies. Now it's so different. Now you cannot talk anymore. No more tolerance in the United States, and we're always very scared of what's going to happen in the streets. I live in Minneapolis, and I don't feel safe walking to the grocery store, which is less than a mile from my house. we've reached that point and we don't know what's happening.
Because of
And
the divisions, are you saying?
definitely because of the division,
Yeah.
because of the
You don't
uh,
think your man has stoked that up somewhat? That's certainly a common allegation against Mr. Trump.
well, it takes two to tango. It's never one thing against another. Um, uh, uh, I disagree. I disagree with this allegation. But yet, what we're seeing in the streets is not the work of anybody other than the radical left, and that's a problem.
Okay. Do you want the Proud Boys to stand by just in case?
Hell no, I don't want anybody to stand by. We are a country of constitution and we're a country of law and order. And I believe in the police and I believe that things will calm down.
Okay. Dalia, it's lovely to have you on. Thank you. Lovely to talk. That's Dalia al-Aqidi, who is a former Republican congressional candidate, still very much, as she said in her own words, a Republican voter as well. We'll take your comment on that one as well, 0344 499 1000. This is absolutely fascinating. This is out of a Black Mirror episode, isn't it? The president gets the COVIDs 1 month before an election. You know, he's an older guy. I think he's quite a fit guy, Trump. He looks fitter than Biden, that's for sure. But I don't know whether anyone of a certain age is fit enough just to go through it in 2 weeks and come out the other side. But if he does, maybe that's going to play really well for him.